Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar about getting product discovery right. I'm really happy to be here, and I really hope you get some good ideas and tips for your next product discovery. So, yeah, let's start. But first, let me introduce who I am. My name is Affinity, but everybody calls me Nancy, and I am a former global group product manager at Delivery Hero, currently taking a travel career break. I started with product management 10 years ago, and I worked in multiple global software roles. I started as a junior PM, and then I grew to a group product manager in the last couple of years. So I was part and I led multiple discovery processes. As well, I had the opportunity to lead and coach and mentor other product managers on how to do product discovery. So I hope you will take some good tips from today's webinar. Other than that, and I'm an avid traveler, so I travel a lot and I really like enjoying and exploring their culture and food. And yeah, like if you want to ever talk about product or discovery in general, I have attached my LinkedIn, so just write me on LinkedIn. What we will discuss today and what will be your key takeaways. First, we were going to discuss why product discovery is important, what pitfalls or challenges you will see during the product discovery and how you can overcome them by providing some frameworks and tips that can help you strengthen your product discovery techniques. What we will not cover specific techniques or tools that you can use to do product discovery right. And we will not share any secret sauce to get product discovery always right because there's not any secret sauce to share. So, why product discovery is important? 40% of new products that are going out to the market and to the customers do fail. And the reason why a new product might fail is because there is no real need for the customer to use it. And even if there is a real need from the customer to use it, customers find it really difficult to use it at the end of the day. The product failure is really, really, really difficult for a company, and minimizing it is key for the companies out there. Organizations do spend a lot of time on getting a product out by employing people, doing marketing services, or like other services that can help them to get a product out. And if they're getting this product out and it's not being used and it's not being bought by the customers, then there will be a direct financial loss for them. Of course, their reputation will be harmed if they get a product that is not what they like, what their customer want, or they cannot use it. At the end of the day, yes, it is a really good experience, a learning experience for the company, but it comes with really big challenges such as the financial and reputation loss at the end of the day. Now, when we see at the product discovery process, and we need to first understand the product development process. And here is a simplified view of that. We start first with an objective as what we want to achieve, and why we want to achieve it at the end of the day. And then we go into the discovery and the delivery phases of the development process. These two phases have different focuses. The product discovery phase really focuses on identifying user problems and take decisions about why some solutions are necessary and what solutions are those. And the second phase, which is the product delivery, focus on building and testing that solution, taking out to the customer and see if the customer really accepts the solution or they think that they can solve the problem that we have identified in the discovery phase. If I go back a bit, we see that those phases are not consequence or it's not a waterfall mode. But what we see and what's the most important here is that we don't start delivering something or developing something if we haven't uncovered customer needs and uncovered the importance of the solution that we are going to build at the end. And this is why product discovery is important because product discovery can help us meeting customer needs with usable, feasible, and business viable solutions. And this can help us minimizing any product failures. So at the end of the day, product discovery is conducted because we want to minimize the risk of getting a product out that is going to be a failure. Now, we talked about why product discovery is important, and within this product discovery process, there will be multiple challenges. So, we're going to talk about those challenges and about some frameworks and personal tips from my side of how you can overcome them. There will be four challenges that we're going to discuss today, and we're going to start with the first one that is about culture. You might be in a team or an organization where there is no need for product discovery, and the product development process will look like this. What is happening here is that the teams that work with you, or maybe the management, the leadership team that works with you, they don't believe that discovery is important. They do see this as a waste of time. And what happens is that you are under pressure to deliver a solution that maybe was thought from the leadership team or from big clients. So as a team, you might not be exploring problems, or you be focusing on building specific features, which we call like a feature factory. And this goes against to what we were talking in the first place, because that really increases the probability of you getting a product that is going to fail in the long term. What framework you can use in order to overcome that challenge? One really good framework that you can use for that is called Double Diamond Process, which was shared by the Design Council. The Double Diamond Process, it has two diamonds and has four phases. We can go into details in the next slide. So in the first phase, in the discover, you explore the problem space, you explore and understand the problems of your customers. And then on the second one, you're trying to converge on the right problems to solve. Once you do have that, you start developing the solution. So explore and test multiple solutions. And then at the end of the day, you are trying to understand which of these is the best one so that you can deliver a final solution to the customer where you can see there if this will address the first problem that you have identified. The double diamond, it ensures that you are really trying to understand problems and you create good solutions before you jump into this solution mode and the feature factory right away. Some personal tips from my side. Changing the product culture in a company is quite difficult, especially if you are an individual contributor and if you are a product manager just starting. It is a job of a lot of people that are a little bit more on the management level or the leadership level. So this is not a sole responsibility for you. However, what you can do within your area is you can ask from your manager or from your team to start small and to have a pilot so that you can apply this double diamond process. With this process, you can take a project or a problem, and then you can time box the process or the discovery to focus on the problem exploration and the solution exploration before you start and build a solution. What's also important is to document any findings that you will have and present them in a really good and effective way so that if there is a possibility and if there is a success from your pilot, you can present them company-wise, but you can get the buy-in to share it and to start having the product discovery process more and more within your projects or your initiatives. Moving on to the second challenge, which is about the process itself. You might be in a company or in a team that the product discovery culture exists, so it is there. However, you see that there is not a solid discovery process. What you might see is that some product teams will be talking to their customer maybe once in a year, but not so much. And what you will also might see there, might identify, is that at the end of the day, you are still building solutions for your customers, but you are not talking to them as much. And when you get those solutions out, you are not really interested about success, or this is not important for you. Now, how you can overcome this challenge? A really good framework that was shared by Teresa Torres quite a lot in the product community is about continuous discovery. The continuous discovery process focuses on first identifying your customers, talking to their customers continuously, so frequently, trying to understand what are the opportunities for them and talk to them about finding a set of solutions that will make sense for those opportunities. It's really important to understand that when you meet with your customers weekly, daily, so frequently, this creates a really trustful relationships. And together you try to understand what you can achieve as a common product outcome. For example, let's say that you are working together to improve the retention rate, and you talk to them to identify what are the opportunities for them and what might be the best solutions for them. Personal tip from my side, when you do try to employ the continuous discovery process, the very, very first thing that you need to do is to identify your real customers. Identify the people that really use your product, and they can give you really good feedback. Identify with them and within your team which is the outcome that you need to move, so that when you identify your customers, you can talk with them and you can tell them, okay, this is what I'm here to help you with. When you do that, try to have regular and frequent meetings with them so that you can get the insights firsthand. Ideally, weekly or daily, if that can happen. However, if this is also like bi-weekly or like once in a month, it's still a really good progress from not talking to your customers or talking to your customers only once. And it's really important to be prepared to pivot mentally. If you are getting a solution out and then you see that it's not going to work, then you need to pivot and you need to start new. So it is important that there will be multiple solutions to be explored, not only one. Going into the third challenge, which is a lot of challenge, is about the insights and the data that you're going to have from the previous two frameworks that you might employ and how you can overcome this unstructured feedback. Because when we do talk to our customers and our users, we're gonna get a lot of insights and we're gonna get different from different sources, such as qualitative feedback or quantitative feedback. So understanding the why or understanding the numbers. It will be tough to organize such a diverse feedback. And the problem with that is that if you don't organize it and if you don't categorize it in the best way possible, then you cannot understand what is the valuable insight that you can generate out of that. So there you will risk losing any insight for your product success. How you can overcome this with two really basic frameworks. The first one is called Affinity mapping, which is mostly a technique or a tool that you can use for getting any sense of qualitative feedback. As a framework, it's really important to understand that that is something that you can use in order to cluster ideas that you get out of your weekly customer meetings or your frequent customer meetings or your ad hoc feedback with customers, and then you put them in a map where you can make sense of what those ideas to talk about. There are a lot of tools. I have used Miro and Figma about this affinity diagram or mapping that can help you create a digital version of that. And you can share it across with your team and you can collaborate with all the people so that they can add, they can edit, or they can delete anything that doesn't make sense within the next, for example, weekly customer sessions. This diagram, it's really important because it will get you in a really good position of trying to get the idea of all the insights that you will get, all the quotes that you will get from your customers firsthand. When we talk about quantitative feedback, really, really important to go into a data-driven analysis. It's really important to get a data analysis process right as a foundation before you try and get any insights of the quantitative feedback that you get. So what's the most important is first you need to identify how you can collect this data that you want to collect. And once you collect them and process them, you need to analyze them in a way that you can provide actionable insights. And here you will have a lot of people that are experts in that can help you with this, such as data analysis or business intelligence or product analysis teams or engineering teams that can help you establish this foundation and gather and store these insights for action. In this way, you will have your affinity mapping and your data analysis process in both together so that you can make sense out of both quantitative and qualitative feedback. Some personal tips from my side I have seen from those challenges is that when we start getting feedback, we will get a lot of information. And at the end of the day, we will not know which one is important for us. That's why it's important to always have a key performance indicator for your product. You can start with 1 to 3. And in order to see if these are good KPIs for you, you can use the framework of the KPI tree that is shared here. So where you can see how your KPI can be connected to the company's or product success. In the KPI tree here, you see that there are a lot of KPIs. And for you, the KPIs that will be important are the ones that can be connected really well to the existence of the product or to the company's success. So you can use that so that you can identify those meaningful KPIs for you. Once you do identify them, my personal tip is to always use this some of the tools, some of the techniques that you will have will find out so that you can monitor them daily. And you need to collaborate with all these functions that are really, really trained to get those insights from qualitative and quantitative feedback, such as user research or user design or product design or product analysis teams. We arrived at the last challenge that you might see in the product discovery process, and this is about people and skills. What often happens is that when you start your discovery, you might find out that there are not a lot of people inside the product team, that the team is incomplete or often is crowded. And when you do have a lot of people, some of them might not have the right skills to conduct product discovery in the best way possible. How you can overcome this, the very, very, very first step is to identify who is really owning product discovery in your organization and within your team. Team Herix framework, which you can see here, can help you identify this, can help you identify who is going to be the permanent team who is going to own and lead the product discovery. Ideally, this is product management, user research or user design, or together, engineering, and so on and so forth. Team Herbig's framework also can help you identify all these other people that need to be part of your product discovery process, but not on the permanent team. So then the communication with them and what you need for them or by them, it's changing. So it's really important before you start any product discovery to start with that framework of Team Herbig's framework or any other stakeholder mapping framework that can help you to really understand who you will be having within your product discovery team and what skills you need. Some personal tips from my side is before you even start any problem, identify the product team and identify when are you meeting and who needs to be involved. If you see that a person is missing from the function that we mentioned before, such as engineering or product management, you really need to fight for them to be involved and to get the right people in there. If you see that some skills are missing, do try and get some training or best practices in-house or outside. There are a lot of leaders that are providing those training and best practices. So you can definitely can use that if you feel that a really major skill is missing. And last but not least, try and meet regularly with your core team, with your permanent team, and try and see how you can use these other teams for consultation or getting feedback so that you can ensure that your product discovery outcome will contribute to the product success at the end of the day. We have arrived at the end of our webinar. So, as a conclusion, I just wanted to make sure that we have discussed the product failure is happening because we don't effectively address real customer needs. And in order to do that, to identify the real customer needs, we need to discover them. However, this whole process is challenging and has a lot of challenges and a lot of pitfalls, but there are frameworks that you can use in order to overcome them, such as the Double Diamond framework or continuous discovery processes. as well as some tools and techniques that you can use, such as affinity mapping or KPI trees. At the end of the day, it's really important, of course, to identify the product team, to build a really good, skilled, and diverse team to lead discovery. I know that product discovery is challenging, and you will find out as well. So just take a deep breath, try to embrace feedback as much as you can, and try to always continuously improve your skills during each and every product discovery that you will be doing. It will get better, and you will be much, much better after doing this many times. And I hope that you are one of the 60% of the product successes out there with these tips. I am attaching also some resources, some really good books, and some really good podcasts about product discovery. And here you can find more information, more tools, more techniques about how you can do product discovery right. And this is the end of our webinar. Thank you so much. I really hope you got some good ideas for your next successes. And thank you, and hope to see you soon.